Okay. We're still talking about the water signs and the compatibility chart of all of the water signs. You have to understand that if you want to talk about compatibility and what's right as far as a vibration for you with a particular person, it really can be broken down to the elements. Okay, when water does best with earth, fire does best with air. So when you have a partner, right? Talking still about compatibility, and the elements are not in harmony with each other. So, like, again, earth and water are in harmony with each other. And then fire and air are in harmony with each other. So if a fire dates a water and an air dates an earth, now we call that a square in astrology, which is a 90-degree angle. Okay, if this is geometry, sacred geometry, and gematria. Okay, again, astrologers, we have to understand this as well. It's not something that's isolated. So when you have conflicting elements as a partner, already you have to understand and you have to know that you are in a square. Now, what does that mean to be in a square? Well, first, in order to understand what I'm talking about, we have to go back to our diagram and actually draw the mathematical concepts of what I'm talking about. Because this part of the series, we're already in part 3 in the series. And in every part, I'm going to talk about certain principles right along with the science that I'm going to be talking about in the elements. I think that makes it more holistic and you get to absorb more. And then you can go back to the other videos and then you can see the alchemy. You can also design your own alchemy as well. These are mysteries that I'm teaching you so that you can apply to your own life when we're no longer around to continue to do videos. Right? Because we don't stay forever here either, So these gifts are for you to hold dear and guard it and pass it down from generation to generation. Because if you believe in astrology, and in astrologers, because without astrologers, there's no sign to interpret, right? Which means that none of us will exist. So it is a priesthood, like any other priesthood. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put down a diagram, just like I talked about the cycles, right? I showed you the picture, right, of the cycles, right? That's one cycle that we all go through in any course of a relationship when we meet with another human being. Now, this one is going to talk more about the aspects what goes on, in between, in between here, in between here, in between here, and in between here. Now we're going to go into another set of calculations. Now, to just to show you the brevity, the strength, and the mystery and beauty of God through mathematics. Because, a lot of cosmologists like to say that, God is mathematics and mathematics is God. Listen, I'll be the first one to attest that it is true. But I think they're a little bit off the mark as to how to interpret that. Because, again, they don't really believe in the esoteric or the occult. No, they're all about facts and figures. But you know what? We can all fit in the grand scheme of things. All fit. It's just a matter of perspective. It's just a matter of a relative viewpoint versus your own jaded box viewpoint. Because, it all fits Because all of it belongs to God, and we are all part of God. So it all fits. It does. So we're gonna talk about, and I thought, I really thought I wrote this. I really been a little bit outside of my A game. I was nursing this cough that I had, and then I was, drinking a little bit too much. I was still drinking my little Hennessy. Well, you gotta do it. It's my birthday. I gotta, indulge a little bit. It's a lot of work to do this. It's work. But luckily I like it. Today we're gonna talk about Scorpio, fixed water, and the compatibility of Scorpio, fixed water, and its and how it functions in a relationship. Okay, because we gotta talk about that. But before we do, we're going to talk about the secondary equation that you need to know concerning relationships and the interdynamics of relationships once you get together or decide to get together with another person. We have what we call, I think I'm going to put the diagram this way. We have what's called in astrology. We're going to go into the astrology, which is also the same kind of math. We have, when you have two planets together. Let's talk about the planets for a minute for this segment. When you have two planets together, we call that in the birth chart a conjunction. Okay? And let me just, because I think the power of visualization is very, very great, right? Okay. This will be a conjunction. Two bodies so close that they can touch each other. And you can see it's 1 degree. When it's 1 degree, that means that they are like touching each other. Okay, mathematically in astrology, right? And that's something that astrologers look at. Okay, this in astrology means harmony. It means harmony. But there are two types of harmonies. There is negative harmony and there is positive harmony. Now, when we are talking about negative harmony, that's when you have one good planet close to one bad planet. And then positive harmony is when you have two good planets together. Negative harmony, in addition of having one good planet conjunct one negative planet, you can also have two negative planets together. That's also considered negative harmony. And we're going to go back to that. Okay? So that's the conjunction. And then you have what's called the opposition. When you have two planets in 180 degrees, still talking about mathematics of opposition, right? Two planets in opposition from one. This could mean water and earth, or air and fire. That's an opposition. The elements are opposing each other. Water and earth oppose each other, or fire and air oppose each other. That's 180 degrees. That means that there is a lack of awareness. Psychologically, that means lack of awareness. And depending on the planets that are opposing each other will give you clues as to what type of lack of awareness is going on. Okay? So that is the opposition. Opposing elements. And then you have what's called the square. The square is downright stone cold conflict. It is defined by a 90-degree angle. A 90-degree angle. It looks like this. See? You see the 90-degree angle? That's the math. That's the right? That's a right angle. Okay? Both planets are squaring each other. That's why it's called a square. You see it there? It's called a square. Okay. That means that the planets are in conflict. This is a square. The planets are in conflict with each other. If it's opposition, the planets are in lack of awareness of each other's actions against each other. Okay? And then you have the conjunction, which could be a positive harmony or a negative harmony. The same situation or the same concept can be applied to relationships. Okay? So when you have a square, then you have two conflicting elements, not opposing elements, but conflicting. For example, water and earth are opposing each other. Fire and air oppose each other. But when you have fire and water, that's a square. When you have air and earth, that's a square. The elements are not opposing each other. They're crashing against each other. That is the 90-degree conflict. Okay? Understand that this is about mathematics, too. Okay? And then you have another set of mathematics, which we call the sextile. There are tons of them in astrology, but the ones that we're going to focus on are these particular four. Okay? And that's 60 degree. I have one more. The sextile. This is a sextile, which is 60 degrees. See, it's like ping pong. You got two spheres, right, that are working in harmony with each other. 30 plus 30 is 60. So this is a harmonizing square. It's actually a trine, but it's a small trine, which affords us opportunity. Opportunity. The sextile is opportunity. Conflict is the square. Opposition is the two 180 degree apart. And then we have what's called the trine. The trine is when you have the same elements agreeing with each other, like earth and earth, air and air, water and water. Like Pisces and Scorpio are in harmony. That's a trine, because they're both water. Libra and Gemini, that's positive. That's a trine, because they're both air. Aries and Sagittarius, that's a trine, because they're both fire. And that's 120 degrees. That is a very, it means ease of energy. Things happen effortlessly and with ease when you're dealing with a trine. Okay? A trine is 120 degrees. It's far more wider. You see that? That's 120 degrees. That's called a trine. You know, that means that it's the same element. Libra and Gemini, or Sagittarius and Leo, or Taurus and Capricorn, or Cancer and Pisces. Very, very, very harmonizing. The elements are harmonizing. So those are the four mathematical equations that deals with the elements, when they are harmonizing and when they are conflicting. So we're going to jump right in, and we're going to talk about the compatibility of Scorpio. Now understand that Scorpio you have to understand that the energy of Scorpio is that of 3: crisis, conflict,